All right, this is the memories of Halloween parties. As you can see, everybody really went right out of their way to get all dressed up. And besides the sitting around drinking and talking, we also had a pumpkin carving contest. That's me, the judge. And in case you get lost, here are the character and name of all the people who were at the party. At the top there is a witch who was Margaret Yingling. And it was a big party. Lone Ranger Rudy Horowitz. The punker was Betty Horowitz. My goodness, people went all out, most of them. So, these first set of pictures are people from one of our early parties at 20 Shady Hill Lane in Fairfield. Dan, I can't remember his name, on the left, and that's Kathleen on the right. Here's Peter Shearer on the right, and Connie somebody on the left. Here's some people I don't know. Boy, I'm trying to remember this lady's name. She's not a real policeman. She was a friend of Rolla's, and she's about to have some Moet Chandon, it looks like. Here's Rolla at 20 Shady Hill and her friend, pretty sure Linda Norton. Connie Elmore on the ground, but I don't know who the surgical nurse is on the floor. Whatever. Very nice, very nice. Here's a sample of this is that Connie's husband at 20 Shady Hill at one of our first big Halloween parties. And this is the kind of costume you really don't want to have, a bag of grapes. But the problem was he couldn't sit down without popping balloons. Here's Bill Carpenter on the left, dressed up as a man riding on the back of an old woman. And Tom Lawton there on the right, dressed up with his mountain climbing gear, as a mountaineer, I guess. And it's probably his real stuff, because he did a lot of that kind of things. Here's Tom, and I think that's probably Barbara with the black mask there. I don't know. And that's the back of, I don't know who that is. We had lots of pumpkins, and everybody carved them. It was great. And then people voted on, I'm the master of ceremonies there, and people voted on which one was the best one. I just didn't pick them out. There's a better picture of Bill Carpenter's costume of him riding on the back of an old woman. I think he's sitting down there. Cute costume. Cute costume. Here's Tom Bell. That's Rolla. Then Tom Bell with the big mustache, and then Linda Norton there again. This is Glenn, a guy I worked with from at Dolan Computer, and his girlfriend, who I don't know the name of. I have no idea who this is, but Rolla's messing with that person. that is 20 Shady Hills of Halloween there. 20 Shady Hill, and I don't know who the lady is. It could be the old Christine, but that's, maybe it's not the old Christine. I don't know who it is. But the baby is definitely Jesse being nursed there. He couldn't be more than 6 weeks old. There's Peter Shearer and his wife, Jane, dressed up as punkers at 20 Shady Hill. And 1986 Halloween party. Great picture of Tom Lawton. Quite a guy. He died, what, 2 years ago now almost. Had a heart attack suddenly. He had a lot of trouble with alcohol, and he finally gave it up and was just doing so well. And then he was about to get married to a real nice lady, and God, and suddenly he died. Too bad. That's a good lesson, though. Don't smoke and drink a lot. You gotta, it's gonna kill you if you don't. That's Steve, and the guy on the right is, I forget his name, but I worked with him at Dolan Computer too. He was a computer programmer. Guy who'd accidentally sawed off 3 of his fingers with a table saw. I have no idea who this man is, but it looks scary. Here's more strangers at our party. And children at our party who are, I'm sure that's one of the Connie and David Elmore's son, Jason, I think. Don't know who's in the leopard. You know, I think the one in the leopard thing there is Loretta from Roy and Loretta fame down in Texas. They were at that party way back in '86. And of course, that's Bill riding on the back of that old lady. There's Glenn about to take his mask off since he's tired of not getting a drink. That's a lesson. Don't wear a costume that you can't sit down in, and don't have a mask that you can't drink and eat with. Here's all the people outside the house at 20 Shady Hill. Oh my God. Well, this is me dressed up as the devil, I think, and Rolla. There at 20 Shady Hill in that party in '86. I don't know. That's Jesse in his little dragon costume, but I don't know where this is. There's that Jason Elmore guy. Okay. Here's Steve and Roy carving pumpkins. Roy McAllister is his name. And there's a little Robin Hood, I guess, kicking some other kid. And that's 20 Shady Hill. Here's everybody standing around outside again, waiting for the pumpkins to be judged, or judging the pumpkins probably. That's Jane. I don't know who's in the, must be Dan's wife, I think. I forget her name too, and I don't know who the black guy is. And there's Bill, riding on the back of that old lady. Nice sample of pumpkins. I still think that the one upper right hand pumpkin there should have been the winner. I don't know which one was the winner, but that one looks good. Looks real good. There's Connie Elmore and Jason. I mean, the girl looks nice, but look at that guy with that big mask. He's not going to be able to take a drink with that. Must have scared the kids. I don't know who those people are. This is me talking to the surgical nurse. Look at this. Industrial pumpkin carving is what's going on there, it looks like, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. There's Peter as a punker, and Jane as a punker, and then the surgical nurse. I just love the way people really went all out putting on costumes. Yep, there's me and Loretta. Looks like I've had a few drinks by then. There's Tom Bell holding Jesse without his mustache. Tom Bell wore a mustache and a hat to as his costume. I don't know who these people are. I know that's me and that's Dan, but I don't know who the white-faced lady is. Who's like maybe a vampire or something. Here's Dan and his wife. One of these days I'll remember their name. Or you can look it up on that sheet I showed earlier. That's the surgical lady. Here's the guy who used to live down on Fairfield Beach, had a house. I know that when it got really cold they had trouble with their pipes outside. And his wife is the one who did the wallpaper in that small room in 205 Ridgefield. It was, we should never put that paper on it. It's a bitch to get it off. More pumpkin judging. Oh, there's Linda Norton and her husband. Can't remember his name. Whatever. There are people sitting around. Pretty sure that's that guy, I forget his name, lived down on the beach, and his wife in the baseball outfit. They never had much of a relationship, I think. It was really... There's Fritz McElhone and Dave Elmore. Here's a stranger with Fritz standing over him. There's Jane Shearer, the punk rocker. There's me presenting pumpkins and whatnot. More industrial pumpkin carving and, well, Steve watches. Pretty sure that's Fritz McElhone's wife. I forget her name. There's Kathleen at another party we had. Or that's Kathleen, and I think that's Barbara, Tom Lawton's girlfriend. Of course, Steve sitting there on the couch. Great picture of Fritz McElhone. He, quite a nice guy. They were a lot older than Rolla and me, and who knows. I can't remember this guy's name. He's the guy I worked with at Dolan Computer, a programmer who cut off 3 of his fingers on a table saw. That's the thing I remember about him. Maybe that's the winning pumpkin. Who knows? Oh, that's Dave and Connie Elmore with their 2 children. One of them is Jason and one of them is somebody else. Connie was so funny. What's the name of that? I don't know who these people are. The governor who had to go to jail and everything. Connie was real good friends with his second wife. There's Glenn about to go dunk his head into the barrel to bob for an apple. Glenn was one of the guys at Dolan Computer. That's the Lynn part of Dolan was Glenn. That's Brian Welch, Helen Welch, and a mysterious girl on the right. I don't know who that was. Although I suspect, oh, there's me dunking my head in the apple bin trying to get an apple. Not easy to do. But if you get your head far enough in, you do get an apple and you get really wet. Here is Jesse heading for the apple things, trying to get one. There he is, still looking for an apple. And he brought an apple up by just grabbing it with his hand, I'm pretty sure. That was great. Here is, I think her name was Diane, but she's Bud and Eileen Stoyer's daughter. It looks like she's holding Chloe. This is at 205 Old Stagecoach Road. A party we had there, so it must have been in probably '89, I guess, that party. There's a hell of a lot of people there. Yeah, huh. Here's Rudy the Lone Ranger talking about maybe dunking for an apple. Yeah, there's the guy who's probably Bruce Elder. Is this better? Yeah, that's better. That's probably Bruce Elder trying to get a thing. I worked with Bruce at Citicorp. Yeah, there's Bruce trying to get an apple hard. Jesse watches. Who these people are, I do not know. But they came to our party. Pretty sure this is the old Christine, one of our au pairs. She's very nice. Her last name was Henry, and her dad is the artist who did the watercolor up on the wall behind, over there on the wall. He's quite a nice man. Me and him cut down a whole bunch of trees at the dead trees at the house down there at 205 when he came to visit us for a week. And there's Jesse as a lion. He used to growl ferociously. This is probably from the '88 Halloween party. Here's a picture you don't see much. That's Faisal and Mary. Faisal dressed up as a Palestinian. Notice the size of the tiny screen on the TV behind him. Oh, Peter and Jane came as a pirate and a floozy or whatever to that party. That was nice. This guy came as Dr. Bono or Bondo or something like that. And he had passed out these cards that said he was a gynecologist with warm hands and free consultations. Oh, nice. I don't know who he was, though. Probably some friend of Rolla. She knew a lot of people who worked down there at down at Greenwich Capitol. There's Jesse. Finally got that apple out, it looks like. And that lady behind him, who I didn't recognize with the Brian Welch picture, that's the lady whose sister went to the Air Force Academy, I know. And she, actually there's a video up on YouTube, one of them that shows her flying with me in a glider up at Wurtsboro. Oh, Jesse getting for apples. Here's Bud and Eileen Stoyer as Dice, lucky number 7. So our Halloween parties weren't just for the adults. The kids could come too, and they had a good time, I think. Ran wild. Here's a whole group. That's me on the left. I forget who the lady is who's dressed up as a gangster, I guess. And then the two guys dressed up as women on the right. I mean, Jesus. People did go all out. There's Jane, and pretty sure that's Chloe that's being held there. And I don't know who I think Bruce Elder's wife was that witch. And then I don't know who that lady is. Dressed up as a baker, I guess. Oh, here's a picture of Chloe just sitting there doing something. Me and Bruce Elder's wife, the witch. That's Bobby and Werner. Bobby on the left. Werner was, I think, trying to be Gandalf, because he was really into that kind of thing. I knew Werner through the Welches and sailing at the yacht club. That's Rudy going for an apple. I don't know who this is. Looks like a little kid. Here's Tommy Washam, who was my boss at Citicorp, and behind him is his son, Todd, if I remember correctly. Here's Tommy Washam and his wife. Looks like they're happy. Tommy was always happy to have a few drinks. Look at these kids. Boy, oh boy, they look great. Oh. There's Bill Carpenter, Eileen Stoyer to his right, Bill's wife to his left, and I don't know who the other people are. So, pretty sure that's Kathleen on the floor there with little Jesse Tom. There's Gandalf on the left there, just the bottom of him, and I don't know who the ugly picture is there sitting down. God knows who that is. But that, again, is a mask you can't do anything with. That's Betty Horowitz as a punker, Rudy as the Lone Ranger, me as a fool, appropriately, and little Jesse in probably got to be 1988, I'm sure, when this picture was taken. Here's that pumpkins being judged there with my Smokin' Joe smoker that I used to smoke turkeys in. Had to get up all night. And this is up at 205 Old Stagecoach. There used to be a apple tree with a swing on it there, right in that circle just off the deck. Looks like Gandalf is taking off his costume. There's Warner with his beard down. Yeah, there's that little TV set and the kids' toys and stuff all over the place. I don't know who these people are. There's Peter with his pumpkin, I'll bet. She took a lot of pictures. Here's some unknown person. I didn't like this guy, though. I remember that. I think it was somebody that Rolla knew down at Greenwich Capitol or something. Here's one of those big giant guys dressed up as a lady with Bruce Elder there in the background. There's the Stoyers again. Bud and Eileen. And that's Rudy on the left with a funny nose and a tuxedo. Here's a scare the hell out of the kids costume, for sure. Oh, look at this great costume by Fritz, and I can't remember his wife's name there. That's really nice. People were so happy to have a good time. That's Tom Lawton and Bill Carpenter's wife. I don't know what Tom is dressed up as. A bat, maybe, who knows. Here's more pumpkin carving stuff from, that looks like it's really from 20 Shady Hill. This is pumpkin carving definitely at 205 because I recognize that old table. And as I said, there were lots of kids, had lots of fun.